It's a beautiful day outside, so I better hurry up and take care of this one Home Depot seed project, which is the Defiant Square Electronic Deadbolt. Let's open up and see what's in the box. Comes with instructions for both replacing a deadbolt and installing one from scratch, though you'll need to buy some extra tools if you're installing one from scratch. Let's see. Important notice here. It's funny because it says, please contact your local service provider prior to the installation as your door preparation may be different from the standard that conforms. So take that for whatever that means. This other warning tells you that the parts that are in here are not interchangeable with other locks. So if you break or damage a part, you got to get another Defiant part. So what's in the box? A striker insert made out of plastic. May or may not need that. Here's the actual front keypad. You press the button to engage it, and then you put in your code, or you get one key with this kit, which is kind of weird. They should have given you two, but you get a key that bypasses the electronic piece of wire, which means there are batteries somewhere, and those batteries do not, last I checked, come with the kit. What does come with the kit? So you'll need four alkaline batteries. That's a collar. You may or may not need that depending on your installation. Here's the actual deadbolt mechanism. And like most deadbolts, you can adjust the size for the door opening that you're going through. That's in the instructions. Look, they do give you two keys. I'm wrong. That is so awesome. Glad to see they include two keys. Striker plate. The screws that you're going to need. And here is the inside locking mechanism. And by the way, these come in different finishes. Okay, I see. Well, the back side is plastic. 4 batteries are going to end up going in here. Again, get alkaline because you don't want them to fail on you. Batteries end up being in the inside of the house, so in the wintertime, they should stay warm enough where they don't lose a lot of voltage due to cold. You just turn the thumb screw to unlock and lock from the inside, and that's it. So I got to figure out which door I'm going to actually put this in, whether I want to do a fresh installation or a retrofit. We've decided to add our new deadbolt to this door. So one of the things we have to make sure is that we like the look of it. So wherever you want to put it, normally it's within a few inches of the door handle. So I'll make sure my clearance is good. And there's nothing on the other side that's going to interfere. So it looks about maybe in this area is where the deadbolt is going to go through for me. Again, it just has to be a few inches above the door handle. And this is going to be a fresh installation, so I'm using this Ryobi template. You don't actually need one. I mean, you could just do all the measurements that are in the manual. This just makes it a little easier. Setting it for 2 3/8 inch lock set depth. And so all I'm going to do is just mount this little unit. It goes like this. It adjusts for the thickness of the door. Then I'm going to pilot hole here, put in the screw. That'll hold this jib template in place. It'll allow me to drill the main hole and then drill a hole here for the deadbolt. One thing to note when drilling is that when you go through here, don't drive it all the way through. This is a solid core door because you're going to tear up the wood over on this side. So once the pilot hole appears through on this side, just drill back the other way. Oh, this kit includes an auger bit with a hole saw that has a pilot bit in it. So you see the kit comes with all the parts that you need. Here's the hole saw for creating the latch opening. Here's my setup before I start drilling. I use a little bit of painter's tape just to hold it in place. And again, I'm going to put a pilot hole here and here. Secure the jib to the door, and then I can do all my drilling. I am going to put, or at least try to put, a level on top of my drill so that I am drilling straight, because you need to be going straight in both directions. If you come in a little high or a little too low, then things are going to be off, and it's going to make installation a lot harder. With the 2 screws in, and by the way, these screws come with your lock. The jib is stable, and we're ready to start drilling our main hole. There it is. We see that the pilot hole is starting to drill out. So now we're going to drill in from this way so that the wood does not splinter out if we had continued coming through. We end up with the courier door. If it's a solid door, it'll be a chunk of wood like this. If it's a hollow core, then you'll see particle board in there. Let's count the years. And here's the opening. Perfectly smooth. Nice job on the template. To drill out the latch hole, we get a new hole cutter blade and put that onto the auger. With the 1-inch hole saw attached to the auger, to the drill, we're ready to go straight in. We've got about 1.5 inches of material to go through, so hopefully it won't take too long. Get it up there, make sure it's flush, and start drilling. And we now have a hole. Hello! With our 2 holes drilled, we can remove the screw and put this away for another day and continue on with the assembly. I've mounted the latch assembly and screwed it into position so that I can take a pencil and just outline where the plate goes so that I can chisel that out. To mortise out the opening, I use a chisel, do the cuts across it so that when I go to take the wood out, I don't go in too deep. Be careful if you're going in vertically with the chisel because you can split the wood. With the opening for the latch chiseled out, I check my fit, and I'm looking to have it extremely flush with the door frame or with the door, because over on this side is a very snug fit. So I know if this protrudes a little bit, it's going to cause fitness issues. So I'm trying to alleviate that by trying to get it as flush as possible. The latch can be adjusted for 2 3/4 to 2 3/8 bore size. So what you want to do is twist this mechanism to pick the size you want. We're going to go with 2 3/8. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Yeah. So it makes it a little shorter. There it is, locked into place. And so now we're at 2 3/8, and make sure when you insert it into the door that the up position is pointing up. And now we can attach our screws. Make sure the tumbler is inserted into the keypad face, and that the actual keyhole is at the bottom. It'll only fit in one way. And on the interior side, take the cover off. Don't insert the batteries just yet, but put that in a safe place so it doesn't get scratched up. Make sure the blade is horizontal so that it mates with the horizontal opening. Okay, so we have that going through. Now I get our mounting plate, thread the cable through it, and it says against door and up. So the against door obviously is going to go against the door. There's a place right here, this notch, which is where the cable is going to go through. Pull that through. Okay. There are two of these black screws that are provided with the kit. I'm just going to pull the mounting plate back a little bit so I can see that it's going to go into the right hole. It caught. Insert the second screw. And you're going to tighten these down snug, and that gets you 50% there. Now we're ready to attach the indoor locking mechanism. Make sure the knob is facing vertical and that the opening on the other side is horizontal. Now if you can see in there, there's a connector. Let's see, there it is, that connector, which kind of looks like this connector, except this one already has a wire in it. Of course, we have a wire coming out of our lock, and those two have to mate. And I think this is only one way. You see there's like little bits of contact on that. I think if you put them face down and you slide it in, boy, this is so much better done with like maybe needle nose pliers. Had they made this connection further down, this would have been so much easier. So I'm trying a different tool. Surgical forceps, right? So that holds it in place. As much wire as I can. And boy, it just does not want to cooperate. So not only is the connector underneath a piece of plastic, but I was actually trying to get it in upside down. The little red mark on the connector needs to face up as you're looking at it. Then it should go in, but you're still, I think, going to have a difficult time just because of where it's located. If they could have placed it lower, the installation would have been so much easier. And we're going to put in our 4 batteries and see if we can activate this. I inserted the batteries and made some kind of a beeping sound. So let's see if I punch in the code, which I believe is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the mechanism powered, which tells me, yeah, whatever. Which tells me that the little contacts on here actually face up, even though the contacts on the board are at the bottom. That's how this fit together. Make sure that it's all the way in, because you don't want this slipping out after you've buttoned it all together. So we're going to set our lock back to horizontal so it fits in here. And you'll notice that there are 2 holes, and we have 2 sets of remaining screws. There's the flathead, which actually you're going to use for the door jamb, and then the round-headed screw, and that's what's going to go here and here. So put these in, and then we can put the cover on, and we'll be finished with this part of the installation, we still have to put the latch on the door jamb. In order to know exactly where I need to drill this on the door jamb, by marking on the deadbolt and using painter's tape, one of my favorite tools, I then just opened the deadbolt up against the painter's tape, and it made a mark showing me exactly where that deadbolt is. So now I know where to drill my hole, and then I can get my strike plate, put it up against here once I drill that hole, and then do the outline and mortar the whole thing out. I switched to a 3/4 inch spade and went in just about an inch because the deadbolt goes in about an inch, so I need to cover that travel. I may have to go just a hair more, so there's just a little room for expansion. We are mortised out. When I put in the striker plate and I tried putting the deadbolt through, it wouldn't. So I took the plate out. It still wouldn't go through. That told me that the alignment was slightly off. Use a marking pen on the end of the deadbolt. They gave me a mark on the inside, so I knew I had to come this way a little bit more. So therefore, you see that there is a little bit of space here. So now, again, using painter's tape, I've positioned it, and the deadbolt slides in smoothly, so I know this is the position for it. So I'm now going to put some pilot holes in, screw it down. By simply replacing the strike plate screw that comes with this kit with something a little bit longer, you've increased the security of your door, making it harder for someone to try to kick it in. It's a shame the manufacturer doesn't include these in the kit. With the strike plate finally installed, we're ready to close our door, install the cover, and now all we have to do is turn the knob and our door is secure. We should, of course, change the code from the default 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to something that's a little harder for people to figure out. And there are instructions in the manual to do that, so I won't cover that piece of information. Wanted to mention, I did not use the dust collector in this installation. The reason being, we use a spade to drill the hole, and this is rectangular, so I didn't want to chisel out that just to get this box in. It doesn't add any integrity, doesn't make it any better, so I opted not to use it. At the end of this installation, I walked away with a couple of impressions. Defiant makes a budget price, usually by half, product that is pretty good for what it does. It includes 10 individual key codes that you pick, a vacation mode for when you're away, and a single-use key mode that you can assign to someone. On the downside, I found the electronic connection a little difficult to make. It's a shame they don't give you 4 alkaline batteries with the kit, and the striker plate screws are just way too short for this to be something to protect your home. Would I recommend this product? If you're on a budget, it's an okay product to buy. Are there better products out there? Yeah, but this will do the job that you want it to do and provide you with the convenience of keyless entry. If you found the video interesting or informative, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, support us by hitting that subscribe button. And by the way, as a favor to our viewers, we never allow commercials to be inserted inside our videos. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching.